Hello. Today again I'm with a very special person. He's very senior leader of Congress party and External Affairs Minister of India. Yes, I'm with Sri Salman Khurshid. Salman Khurshid Saab, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
You had long telecon with your Maldives counterpart on Mohammed Nasheed. Any breakthrough?
Well, I don't think that it's a breakthrough issue or a breakthrough moment. There is a minor incident that has caused people to speculate, and media reports that give impressions that can cause concern to our friends in Maldives. And I wanted that there should be no communication gaps.
Right.
I shared with the foreign minister what we knew about the facts as they did happen,
yeah,
and put them in perspective for him, and I am very glad that he understood that.
Right.
We made it very clear that India has no intention, and certainly India should not be interfering in anyone's internal affairs,
Right.
even of a very friendly country. And any impression that goes out because of any form of reporting
Right.
to the contrary must be immediately corrected. And I'm very glad that the Honorable Foreign Minister accepted that, understood that point.
Good.
I also clarified there's no question of any asylum having been sought,
Right.
and therefore no question of it had been given.
Right.
But certainly some courtesies have been extended to a former president who we have worked with in the past,
Yeah.
who came for whatever reason,
Yeah.
and asked for a meeting with the High Commissioner, who was not present.
Right.
And when the High Commissioner returned, they had a meeting, and he must have shared with the High Commissioner some concerns of his and sought some courtesies that we extended.
Right.
But this is not to be seen as a partisan attitude towards anything in Maldives.
Okay.
We are friends of Maldives.
Right.
We are friends of the people of Maldives.
Yeah.
And we deal with the government of the day,
Yeah.
as indeed we deal with the opposition.
Right, true.
So we are in touch with everybody, and everybody is equal for us.
Before going further, it's time to watch a special report on Sri Salman Khurshid.
Born in Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh, Salman Khurshid is the son of Khurshid Alam Khan, former Union Minister for External Affairs, Government of India, and maternal grandson of Zakir Hussain, the third President of India. Salman Khurshid studied in St. Xavier's High School, Patna, and did his higher studies from St. Stephen's College, Delhi, and St. Edmund Hall, Oxford University. He also taught as lecturer in law at Trinity College, Oxford. He started his political career as an officer on special duty in the Prime Minister's office during the Prime Ministership of Indira Gandhi in the early 1980s. Later, in June 1991, he became the Deputy Minister of Commerce, and then in January 1993, he was promoted as Minister of State for External Affairs in the Government of India. During this period of 1991 to 1996, he was the Member of Parliament from the Farrukhabad constituency in Uttar Pradesh. In the general elections of 2009, he was once again elected as Member of Parliament from Farrukhabad, winning as a candidate of the Indian National Congress. He became the Union Minister of State, independent charge for corporate affairs and minority affairs in the Government of India. In the year 2011, he was made Cabinet Minister for Water Resources and Minority Affairs, and then in July 2011, Law and Justice have been added instead of Water Resources. On 28 October 2012, he became Union Minister for External Affairs in the Government of India. Salman Khurshid has been deeply involved in writing and acting in plays since his student days in Delhi and Oxford. He is the author of the popular play Sons of Babur, which has been staged with Tom Alter in lead role at the Red Fort in Delhi. Bureau Report, Loksabha Television.
Case is a bit different with Pakistan. There is one offer from Pakistan side. External Affairs Ministry level talks should again begin. Any kind of talk with Prime Minister on this?
No, nobody is switched off any talks.
Right.
We have a composite dialogue that takes place in a periodic manner. Schedules are drawn up, and that dialogue has never been switched off. So I don't think that it's a matter of, we weren't doing this, now let's start doing something.
Right.
Our concern only was that we have consistently maintained that the answer between India and Pakistan lies in a candid, open, honest, bilateral dialogue.
Right, true.
That's what we were doing all these months. We've invested enormously in it, and we don't want that to be bypassed.
Right.
And this is all we said, and we are very pleased and glad that signals came from the Pakistani Foreign Minister that there should be bilateral contact.
Right.
So, no trilateral, no multilateral, bilateral. Now, bilateral means at different levels. You have the level of high commissioners, you have the level of flag officers, you have the level of DGMOs.
Right.
There are various other ministerial contacts.
Secretariat level talk.
Secretariat level contacts. So those must continue.
Right.
And these are the contacts from which you build to a high point of the dialogue. So when it is found necessary that you raise the level of the dialogue from one level to another, depending on the deliverables, depending on the success at the previous level, you raise it to a higher level.
Right.
And obviously that's what will happen in due course. But if you try to do things in haste and you rush into something and you create expectations, then the disappointments can be equally great.
Yeah.
So I think we take it at a moderate pace, we take it at a careful pace,
right,
at least being certain that you're going in the right direction.
But one thing from Hina Rabbani Khar's side, she is very aggressive. I'll give you one or two examples.
Impressive or aggressive?
Aggressive, not impressive.
I see. Not impressive.
The reason being why I'm asking this, she very recently went to Islamic Organization of Cooperation, where she requested them to have a probe on ceasefire violation in LOC from India's side. Your comment?
Well, did they accept her request? They didn't. I think one thing that we've learned in dealing with Pakistan and certainly dealing with the Organization of Islamic countries is that you shouldn't always respond to everything that is said.
Right.
Some things you should ignore.
Yeah.
Some things you should respond. Something you should factor into your decisions.
Right.
So there is kind of a unwelcome tradition of periodic meetings in the OIC in which statements are made about India, and we've responded in the past, and we've also taken it up bilaterally with many of our friends who are present in those meetings, and a lot of them just say, ignore him. And I think it's served us well to ignore those statements. Right. We know with certainty that we have some very good and solid friends who stand by us, but the system within their organization is such that these things are not put to vote, these things are not discussed, these things are not, it's just a member puts up a resolution and announces it. Now, I don't think we should react to everything. Particularly if the same person and the same government has categorically made an offer of continuing of bilateral talks.
Really? She was utilizing the army chief's statement at that particular time when ceasefire violation was happening from Pakistan's side. At that particular time she was in Washington, and so on diplomatic side, you see there is some issues which I wanted. When Home Minister talk about Hindu terror, and you also echo with that statement, don't you think that you are giving a tool to Pakistan?
Well, I think we are not, but you in the media are. The Home Minister has consistently said that the party and he himself believes that terror does not have a religion.
Any color or any religion.
Religion does not have color.
Yeah.
He said that. Now, sometimes a particular phrase in the heat of the moment, or in the excitement of a stage, if a phrase is mentioned somewhere, that phrase can't become standard policy.
Right.
When we have a very, very clear standard policy, and the Home Minister has repeatedly said that I obviously subscribe to the standard policy of the party. But the facts are also some things that he is the best person to know.
Yeah.
Because even more than I do or anyone else does in government, he would have hands-on knowledge of the facts. And what the affiliations, associations, background, suspicions, etc., are about individuals reported to him is a matter of fact. It is not a matter of opinion, certainly not a matter of allegation, and nobody makes an allegation against a political party, no matter how much your disagreement with them may be.
Right.
So, so I don't think that one should read something that's not there.
Okay.
And coming to someone across the country using it, I think this is where I would very respectfully urge the media to understand that the manner of your reporting should not be seen outside the country as though we are a divided country on something. Right. We are not. We must speak with the same voice. Outside, we must speak with the same voice. Internally, within our political spheres, we have disagreements. That's understandable. That's part of democracy.
It's time to go for a very short break. Please stay tuned. You had a telecon with John Kerry. Did you ask anything related with David Hadley?
We want to take up those matters, and we will do so at the earliest when we meet.
Sexual crime against women, one ordinance from Government of India. Do you think that is suffice?
No, ordinance can never suffice, because ordinance is only a temporary affair. It has to be replaced by legislation.
Welcome back. We are in talks with Sri Salman Khurshid. Salman Sahab. Very recently you had a telecon with John Kerry as well. Did you ask anything related with David Hadley?
No, this was just a pure congratulatory message. I had sent him a message. He was good enough to call back. We talked briefly. He said that he looked forward to meeting me, and I of course said that we looked forward to meeting him here in India. We have a lot of items on our agenda that were put on a cold storage because of the presidential election and the appointment of the new Secretary of State. So we want to take up those matters, and we will do so at the earliest when we meet. In any case, India and United States of America are strategic partners, and the Secretary of State in the United States of America plays a very, very important role.
Exactly.
Therefore, it's important that we get to know each other well. He's been a good friend of India. He's traveled to India. He knows India, and I do believe that our relationship, both in terms of our two countries and in the terms of people who represent the two countries, must be wholesome and meaningful, and that's what I'll try to work towards.
You're going to Dhaka. In your agenda, are you going to talk about Tista River issue?
There's nothing to talk with Dhaka on that. There are in principle agreements with Bangladesh. We now have to deliver on those. We have to work for consensus within our own country, both on the land boundary as well as Tista. But my priority is the land boundary agreement, which we've already okayed in the cabinet, and we want to bring it in this session of Parliament, make sure that it passes with hopefully unanimous support from all political parties, because this is not something that Government of India of the UPA government is doing. This is India's relationship with Bangladesh, which is extremely, extremely important. And if this is a minor irritant in which there is a resolution that brings a win-win situation for both sides and consolidates the friendship between Bangladesh and India, then I think it's the patriotic duty of all